Hi, my name is Leonor Antunes. I'm the artist invited to do a project at the New Work Gallery, curated by Jenny Geith at the SF MoMA. So I've done a lot of work which is kind of has these references to other artists. Sometimes it's not so much about themselves, about the work they did. It's more about the life they had. When Jenny invited me to make this project, I was researching about the work of Greta Grossman, which was a Swedish designer that lived in California. She studied industrial design, so she didn't have the diploma, so she could not be mentioned as an architect, but she did a lot of houses. And so the sculptures are based on works I've seen from her. I was interested in her work because I've been interested in the heritage of like some artists or some designers, mainly women that have worked in a certain period of their lives. It was not easy for them to work, because they were women working in a very male-dominated medium, which is architecture or design. Annie Albers, for example, is an artist who I'm very interested in her work. She wanted to study architecture, but she wouldn't be able to attend architecture classes, so they put her in the weaving classes, because that's where most of the women were studying. And so she became this great artist. I'm doing a project which I don't want to call it installation, I don't like this word. It's a big sculpture, let's say, which comprises a floor piece and like a partition, like a sculpture which is hanged from the ceiling to the floor. And there's a group of leather sculptures. And there is a nylon woven piece. And I've also made some lamps which illuminate the space in a very three-dimensional way. The floor piece is based on a weaving by Annie Albers. And I used cork. Cork is a material that comes from Portugal, where I'm from. I was born in Lisbon, but I went to Germany 10 years ago, in 2005. Where I live now, I live in Berlin. My research has to do with this flux of immigration, like people going from one place to the other. Greta Grossman, this designer, was like a Swedish designer, and she came to California to develop her work because her husband was Jewish, so they couldn't stay in Europe. So I was also interested in the fact that there has been other people, apart from Greta Grossman, that came here. Like, for example, Annie Albers. She went to teach at the Black Mountain College herself and her husband. Sometimes I see it as myself. I don't live in the country where I was born. In order for me to continue to survive as an artist, I had to emigrate, let's say. I had to leave my country. But I still keep a lot of dialogue with it. So my interest, I think it has also to do with my own condition as an artist. The idea that you have to go somewhere in order to be able to do your own work.